What about the relationship between the two characters? Was it set from the beginning how it was supposed to be, or did it evolve while you were making the movie?
Bit of both. Bit of both. It was pitched to me. We even met that there was this uncharted territory between them, this kind of Butch and Sundance vibe, and we just sort of took that and ran with it. And I think we embraced slightly more the domesticity of this couple, that they really, if you go to the books and realise that they are living with each other.
Yeah, it'd be weird if it wasn't dysfunctional.
You're right.
And so...
Or overly formal. I mean, that's something you often see in Victoria, especially in homes, where they barely talk to each other, and you think, they don't live together. Sherlock Holmes is a detective. And what's wonderful about him is his stubborn and brilliant application to that role of detective in his life. He's also someone who is gifted with an incredible ability to concentrate on detail and unemotionally and almost sympathetically deduce the detail to tell you exactly what has happened and why it has happened.
John Watson is a decorated soldier who is struggling between his desires to be rooted in the glorious mundanity of a happy marriage and a private practice, and his kind of forever being pulled into the fray with Holmes as he goes on these adventures.
So much better than I did.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I totally underplayed the brilliance of Sherlock Holmes there.
Really?
Anyway.
I mean, both...
Yeah, I think I did.
Working on a Guy Ritchie movie, it must be different to working on other films, because there's always a certain, in the finished product, there's a certain energy to it. And he strikes me as being not your average film director. Is that the right way?
God love him. I'll never forget it.
He's as unique as all great filmmakers should be. He has his own way of doing things. I tell you, I've never worked on a happier set, and running a happy set especially on a film this size is a real telltale of how talented the director is. And the fact that we shot it quickly and with that energy in mind, but always studiously and with great humour, was again, it all comes from the top.
First of all, he would, well, he was calling you Hudson, so he would say, "You're all right, Hutsy," after a take, and so that became commonplace.
Hudson?
Hudson, yeah, the hot Watson.
No, that's not
He's a hot Watson. He's a hot Watson.
Then he would, sometimes he'd come in and tell me my hair looked like I was about to be in a Vegas show act and we had to fix it, that he would not allow me to look that ridiculous on camera. And oftentimes he would congratulate both of us on finally being able to deliver some sort of performance approaching heterosexual.
What about the action sequences? How were they? Because Guy told me something about some weird martial arts that you had to do, and you didn't get knocked out, I bet.
I didn't get knocked out. I just didn't know who I was.
You never knocked me down, Ray.
We both got banged up. We didn't care. Someone was saying, what was the strangest moment of shooting we ever concerned? And I remember the first time that we shot Dredger, and he's this huge guy.
When he arrives?
No. The last time we see him, we leave him laying on top of Watson.
Oh, yeah.
We shot it twice, and the first time, we're down in this dungeon somewhere. And I remember I wasn't in the shot, so I was like, "Oh, see you in a bit," and I saw Jude lying on his back with this huge guy, basically crushing him to death. And I kept saying, we need to build something made out of wood.
Like a false floor.
A false floor that Jude can be under, and Jude was like, we don't have time, we gotta get this shot. I looked down,
This guy was on me.
I thought he was gonna kill you.
Well, it's funny, because the premiere was last night, and I hadn't seen it in a while. And it's true that the relationship is slightly more equal in that Watson doesn't bumble around and make a fool of himself and hinder Holmes. But at the same time, first of all, that's true to the books. Watson is he's a military man, he's smart, he's up there, he helps his friend, he advises his friend, he's learning from his friend. All that's in our film. I wouldn't say he's up there. I mean, this guy's still pretty extraordinary. He has these amazing, superhuman in a way, and I say that without sounding like, you know, Superman, but superhuman in his abilities to take detail, to absorb data, as he puts it, is extraordinary, and Watson doesn't have that. That really struck me last night, that they are equal in that he's not an idiot, but Holmes is pretty extraordinary.
Yeah, but he's in training. Watson is in training.
He is. I like that really popped out too, the whole bits when you were testing me. I quite liked all that.
Very physical film. Where you got, like, I mean, it was just fantastic to watch those scenes. I hope you guys came out unscathed and not bruised up. And how did you handle it?
Well, the fun part of those is that it means that you keep yourself in good shape, and you take them seriously, and you have as much fun to make sure they look real and as you can. But equally, you know, you also have to pay attention. You know, just
you
remember when to block.
And you gotta have a little. You gotta have a little fight in you. You have to be willing to be more aggressive than these stuntmen who are just so used to getting banged around, and they're kind of wondering what you're made of.
Yeah, truly.
That said, the truth be told us, we were waking up, and by the time we were shooting the stage work in New York, we were waking up at 4:45, and if I was challenging him, hey, why don't we go bang out a workout before we go to work to shoot the action sequence, he'd be like, oh, I'll be there. And so pretty soon we were meeting each other earlier and earlier for workouts. One day I don't know why, it was like the sun wasn't even up and we were lifting crazy, and he went, ah! And then for the
I did my neck in that
for the next 3 or 6 weeks, we were doing fight scenes and he was like, I'm fine, I just can't turn my head.
Did you adapt okay to your nickname, Hotson? Because I totally agreed with it.
Do you? I don't know, I was too busy getting used to my tash to really take anyone, to take it at all seriously.
Have you ever seen a guy adjust better to a tash? I saw him without it afterwards, and I was like, that's not my Jude, see? How do you really feel about Hotson? Is it embarrassing, or is it kind of...
I think it demeans the approach, the serious work I put into keeping this man terribly, terribly believable.
You're both Hotsons as far as I'm concerned. You did a fantastic
I'd like to at least get a side Hotson. Thank you.
You got one for sure. You guys were fantastic in this movie. Can't wait. Lots more, I'm sure, will be coming your way. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great to talk.